So this morning I had a coaching session with one dentist. When he came to me, his goal was to become a better presenter. So we have been working with his presentation skills and improved. So me working as a coach can look totally different. Every client I coach has a different challenge that we are working on, and this challenge can change from session to session. So what is a coach doing? I'm there supporting, guiding. I could give advice, but as little as possible. But in this case, it's different. It's about presentation technique. And I am an affiliate and I'm working with Davy J Phillips Mastery Program. When I wanted to become a better presenter, I started this course, and that course is mind-blowing. But sometimes maybe we don't have the time, or we decide to not take that course. So we have had these sessions and I have been by his side, and he have felt this progress and this change, and that's the power of coaching. It's so wonderful. I'm so excited, and I feel like everything that has happened through all these years in my life, it's meant for me to be here where I'm now. And to see the change in people is so, I don't know if I think I'm happier than they are. But anyway, so this morning, 8:30 Spanish time and Swedish time, he's in Sweden, I am in Spain, we started this session. And I wanted to make it a little bit different this time. So we decided to look at different TED Talks, the best TED Talks, intros, and analyze them. So after you have seen this video, I'm sure that you will look at presentations in a whole different way. In Davy J Phillips Mastery Program, they speak about all these spices. Spices are all these small things, from me moving, from me doing my eyes, every little thing that will sink, that will make you receive the message in the best way, mind-blowing way, funny way. And we analyze what they say, what they do, their body language, their tone, how they repeat, that they use numbers. You will see. And my client, he came up with so many things. So it makes me proud because, it makes me proud and makes me happy, because when you start to see these things, you can never go back to how you were before. Let's start from second 26.
Okay.
Okay? 1, 2, 3.
I need to make a confession at the outset here. A little over 20 years ago, I did something that I regret, something that I'm not particularly proud of, something that in many ways I wish no one would ever know. But that here I feel kind of...
He even makes it more something I wish nobody never know.
Exactly. So he starts, and then he's like he's
building it up. So he's building up the story, so it gets more. How do you say in Swedish? We say spännande, exciting.
Exactly. I was on my way to ask you as well. What's the name in English? In Swedish, it's. I have to tell you all that we are both Swedish, so that's our first language. So English is our second or third. But I think I'm almost sure that in English it's called anticipation. So
exactly.
So that something is coming, and that is also very powerful. So I need to confess something, I show my vulnerability, I show that something is coming, and he's building it up with anticipation. Let's go back to second. Do you want to add something?
No, but I also see like his facial expressions, it gives a very authentic how do you say, I get trust in him. Like he's telling the truth. It's not like he's just frozen face and telling something. So yeah.
That's a great point. What is it that he's doing that makes you feel like that?
Well, it's like his expression that he's gonna like say some he's vulnerable, he's gonna say something about himself. So it makes me more interested to listen.
Mm. That's very interesting, what you're saying, and very important that our body language
Yeah,
and what we say and what we show is going like hand in hand. Because
exactly.
if we're saying something and we're not showing the same thing, you don't really trust that.
Hmm.
You can use that as well, but it's another thing if it's intentional. Like
Yeah.
you can play with that as well to do something totally different, but then it has to be intentional.
Yeah, it has to
Uh,
be aligned
yeah,
with what you say.
exactly. So let's go back again because I want to analyze what you just said
Hmm.
about his expression. So I will be more aware of that this time. So let's go back to second 26.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
I need to make a confession at the outset here. A little over 20 years ago, I did something that I regret, something that I'm not particularly proud of, something that in many ways I wish no one would ever know, but that here I feel kind of obliged to reveal.
Okay, we pause.
Yeah.
So what did he do?
When he was he like put his hands in his pockets when he felt guilt of what
Mm,
he did, and then when he's going to confess, he's kind of yeah, the facial expression is also that okay, now it's time to do it. But then he opens his hands and gives this welcoming gesture that I feel safe with you guys to
mm,
tell you the story. So yeah, it's amazing how you can like do this kind of detailed how do you say study of how he's talking.
yeah. Yeah. And now, after this session, you will be much more aware when you look because it's not a coincidence in those cases. They
Mhm.
are professional. They have everything in their mind. He starts by doing like this. So that is also like I'm grabbing your attention by clapping my hands. And just
Mhm.
like you said, he's like because it's the same position we have, oh, I have to confess something. So
Mhm.
it also like it gives it more feelings,
Yeah.
not just what he's saying, it's adding with his body language. So
Mhm.
now we have Jane McGonigal,
Mhm.
and it's second 47.
All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I'm a gamer, so I like to have goals. I like special missions and secret objectives. So here's my special mission for this talk. I'm going to try to increase the lifespan of every single person in this room by 7.5 minutes. Literally, you will live
Okay.
7.5 minutes longer.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
feel,
also
I think?
she's building up this anticipation, excitement. So she starts very smooth, soft, that you get a bit curious, but then she, bam, gives you that 7.5 minutes, and then she caught me there. Yeah.
What did get your attention? What did grab your attention?
The attention was like in the beginning, she was going to talk about herself,
Hmm.
right? I got a bit curious, but then I dropped the excitement, but then she came back with, "I will give it to you in 7.5 minutes." and then
Yeah.
I was back there and listening, like, okay, 7.5 minutes, I'm gonna be attentive, you know.
Yeah. And I think even she says, I promise you that I will prolong your life with 7.5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So she gives you a promise
Mm,
that you're curious. And if you're thinking about it, it's like 7 minutes more or less. What does that
yeah.
make? But it's still, it caught you. It's like, what is she going to tell me? So you
Mm,
will stay there and listen. So it's making a promise that
mm,
is just grabbing an attention.
exactly.
Mm. Okay, let's see. Let's put it on 105.
Yes.
Yes. We have a challenging thing here today because we hear echo, so we have to try to hear. But it's good. It's good. It's good to be challenged early in the morning. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Of every single person in this room by 7.5 minutes. Literally, you will live 7.5 minutes longer than you would have otherwise just because you watch this talk.
Yes,
Mm,
you will live literally. You will. So she says, literally, you will live 7.5 minutes. So she's repeating herself. So if you didn't
mm,
get it at the first time, repetition is a very strong thing.
yeah. And she's talking very, like she's not talking very fast. She's like
Mhm.
standing there saying word for word. She's not like hurrying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I think both you and I, we are talking pretty calm and slow.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have felt bad for that when I'm listening to myself. I'm like, oh, and I remember after a speech, I was asking the audience, I wanted feedback, and I was like, did I speak too slow? Because for me, it felt like it was too slow. And they said,
Mhm.
no. Then I had time to process it. And yesterday I saw a video by Davy J. Phillips that was speaking about that it's important to not hurry. You know what you're going to say, but the audience hears this for the first time and they have to
Mm,
have this time to process
yeah.
what you're saying. So we don't need to hurry. And also, it's very powerful to pause. So after saying something important, to
Mm,
pause for a second, because then they will have time to really suck that in.
yeah, that's interesting. To
Mm,
pause. I
yeah.
would write that down.
Yeah. And that's very difficult to do when we are nervous or in now you're not in the beginning of your presentation career. You have done it so many times.
Mm,
But many of us, and I do that as well, we have these or sounds like in Swedish we say utfyllnadsljud, like
yeah.
these sounds to to cover these gaps. So instead of me just being quiet,
Yeah.
which is powerful. I do, or in Spanish. When I do it in Spanish, I say one word automatically, and I say it so many times. I think during one speech, I don't know, I'm not counted. I'm too embarrassed to count that, but I say así que, and it's like así que is like
Liksom.
so. Yeah, liksom. Yeah, that is a typical word in Sweden. Liksom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so easy, and sometimes I use it in my daily
Yeah.
life as well.
So you don't need to, what we take out from this is that you don't need to fill in the gaps. It's just like pause after something important you say, and also um, you don't need to hurry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's self-control. That's practice because
Mm.
the most common thing is just that you want to just fill the gap. So,
Mm.
but that is practice, looking at yourself like, oh, I did that again. I force myself to pause.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 1 minute 17 seconds. Sean Aker.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
When I was 7 years old and my sister was just 5 years old, we were playing on top of a bunk bed. I was 2 years older than my sister at the time. I mean, I'm 2 years older than her now, but
Pause.
at the time,
Yeah.
So what did you do?
Well, here is also something very personal that he's sharing. So it catches my attention. I want to know. There's something that I cannot read about him. It's just if he speaks about it, I can get to know this information. I cannot Google this information. So something very authentic and personal, and then he also puts humor in it. So yeah, that was a very good opening.
Mm,
So it shows like, okay, this presentation going to be personal and humoristic. It's going to be fun and interesting.
mm.
What do you think?
Yeah. And he mentioned something that I think most of us has been in. I think, didn't he say that he was jumping on the bed or something like
Yeah.
that? Or yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a situation that we all have been in. We can
Yeah.
feel it. It's like, yeah, automatically we go back to a similar situation when we were young. So
Mm.
it's what's that word in yeah, that
Familiarize.
it
It's like,
familiarize. Yeah,
yeah.
familiarize, make it resonate with them, something they feel. Yeah, and then the humor that he says, she was 2 years older than me or
At that
younger, or
time.
yeah, okay, she's still 2 years. So, and those are things that it's not so easy to come up with these. It's so funny
Mhm.
because it's something that we can say, but it's not so easy to come up with it. So I want to
Mhm.
inspire you also that during your weekdays, when you have said something wrong or said something funny
Mhm.
or strange, um, to take a note of it,
Mhm.
because what he said is something that I could have done. Like, yeah, I was 2 years older. Yeah, well, I still am. And it's really funny, but it's
Yeah.
something that it's very easy that it just slips away. We say something very funny that we
Mm.
can use in a speech that will make people laugh, but we don't think about it when we do it in our normal day. So
Yeah.
it's good to take notes of those things. So, okay, so 1:30.
Just a second. I'll adjust here. I'm ready.
Yeah. Do you push on when I say 3, or do you wait 1 second more?
I actually did that when you said three, but then I noticed that we are not how do you say at the
Synced.
thing. So now I push when you say two.
You're a genius. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But we could do 1, 2, 3, and then I push.
All
Because
right.
I was like 1, 2, 3, and then I pushed. But if I say
Aha.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I push when you say three then.
3,
We
yeah.
are
Okay.
synchronized.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3.
than her now, but at the time that meant she had to do everything that I wanted to do, and I wanted to play war.
Okay.
What did you say?
It went a little bit fast, so I
Yeah.
didn't quite
Let's do like this, that we listen to the whole thing. So let's take 1:20 and we listen to the whole, because they are so short, every
yeah.
snippet, so we can listen to the whole speech that they're saying.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. I have it now on 1:19.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
When I was 7 years old and my sister was just 5 years old, we were playing on top of a bunk bed. I was 2 years older than my sister at the time. I mean, I'm 2 years older than her now, but at the time, that meant she had to do everything that I wanted to do, and I wanted to play war.
At the time, she wanted to do everything I do, and I
Yeah.
wanted to play war.
War. Yeah. Is it a game? What is that?
Probably, probably.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it like the last sentence didn't give me anything, actually.
mm,
It was mostly interesting until he joked,
yeah.
and then he said at that time she wanted to everything that I did.
Mm.
So it's of course about the context. I would like to know what he's going to talk about.
Exactly. It still gives you like what point
What's the
will he
next
get to?
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really follow him now,
Mm.
but I'm still curious.
Of course, the curiosity building.
Yeah. Curiosity building. Okay. Oh, Brené Brown. She's good. I like, she has a TED Talk about vulnerability. She has a lot of TED Talks, I think. 136.
Mm.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about my TEDx Houston talk. I woke up the morning after I gave that talk with the worst vulnerability hangover of my life. And I actually didn't leave my house for about 3 days.
Wow.
Mm.
That is powerful. She just exposes herself and about something that she talks about, and then she feels that, right?
Mm.
Like even if she's a expert how to handle that, she stays at home 3 days.
Yeah.
So this is really showing vulnerability. How do you even say that?
Vulnerability. Yeah, it's not so easy. Yeah, and because if we compare it with the first one, he was confessing something,
Yeah.
but the level of confession it didn't feel so strong like when she said, I didn't go out and it's not expected, because if you have a TED Talk, you feel like, wow, you will feel so good. You will feel like so powerful. But she shows that there is a bad side of it. Vulnerability.
One more thing that I'm actually reacting at right now, like that is common for all these, is that they use numbers. Like when I was 5 years old, it was 3 days. When like it kind of the numbers makes it more clear in my mind to understand. 7.5 minutes, or all these when they're talking, they just like say numbers in the sentence.
Really great point there.
Yeah. Maybe that is like kind of like when you talk about statistics, talk about statistics studies, or give them a number. I will give you 3 bullet points, or I will give you 5 reasons to, or when I was 5 years old, my sister was 7, or in 7 minutes, this will happen. It kind of makes what they're going to say more, how do you say, exact and consistent. It's not like something out of the air. It's more calculated.
Yeah. So what does that make you feel? What feelings do you get when they say those things?
I would say the feeling is that I feel secure.
Mm,
I don't know why, but
mm,
just this, if I hear a number, it's more calculated. It's like the person knows what they're talking about. And
trust a little bit. Mm,
yeah, yeah, that's very weird because he's just saying that he was five and or he was seven and his sister was five. It's like
mm,
just facts.
yeah.
He's not saying when I was a child, when I was small,
Mm,
in my young age, he's saying the number, and that makes a quite big impact.
mm, yeah. That's really a great takeaway and really important fact what you just said. And that you said you feel secure. So what you're causing in the audience is
Mm,
they feel calm. They feel I can relax. This person knows what he or she is speaking about.
mm,
And it's that relaxed feeling that they can absorb more information. And
mm,
like you said, that's why it's so important. People love lists, people love bullet points, not too many.
mm.
The limit are 6 things. When it's above 6, your mind blows and you will not remember anything. So it
Yeah.
could be 3, 4, 6, as less as possible. So that's a really great, and it's true. Everybody said, or most of them said something about numbers.
Mm,
When she started, she said like something yesterday or something like that, no? So
mm.
that is also very powerful when they speak like they have just come up. Sorry, this the sound in the background is my dog.
Well, I
My
can't hear
dogs.
that. I
Ah,
can't.
okay.
No.
Okay. So the it's powerful when they mention something that, oh, I just come up with this idea, or this
Mm,
morning I thought about this, because then it doesn't feel, it feels so authentic, so natural, that
mm.
not everything is perfect and studied. Not everything you will say is just studied 100%. Like you can improvise, and that makes me feel that you're more authentic and you're more present here. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like something on repeat. It's live.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Mm. And of course, those things also comes with experience. It's just like anything else. It's like being a dentist, or the more experience we have, the more we can like do these things in the moment, and the more
Mm,
relaxed we are. So we cannot expect everything from the beginning. We have to accept that we have an evolution.
mm.
Okay, so I'm at minute 2, Andrew Solomon.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till I felt that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating, till I felt my mind was going numb.
Wow. I felt that I was like in a drama show there.
Would you stay and listen to his whole TED Talk?
Yeah, 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 of course. I would be like, what is this about?
Mm,
Yeah. But that is something that not everyone can do. Like it has to be like in person, authentic. Like
mm.
I can't see you do that.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because the energy was pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. Mm,
So it's a very personal way of
mm,
delivering the information, but I think it's like his way of doing it. That's what makes it interesting. So
Yeah.
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 So what is the takeaway from here? Maybe that to be yourself or do it your way, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that is so important. And that is what I have mentioned to you when we had the sessions as well, that it's so important to find your way. We
Yeah.
can speak about different things, humor, start to like dance, but it has to feel like you. You have
Mm,
to bring out what you feel is comfortable and what feels like you.
mm,
And sometimes it's not easy to find because we suppress it. For example, I would just come in with a personal thing here. I've always loved to dance.
mm,
And I have had like periods when I have showed that in social media because I am a little bit of a clown and I like to do these dancing videos. But of course, it has been like sometimes I've showed it and sometimes I've been like, oh my God, I'm an adult. I shouldn't do that. It looks like I'm crazy or I have a crisis.
mm.
And then it comes again, but I like it. I love it. And I have seen that those are the videos that people like more because probably they feel that that's her. And
Yeah.
many people have said, I love that. I can see that that's you. I don't like you when you're trying to go into a box that is not yours. So it's like
Mm,
the people can see when you're not true to yourself. So you shouldn't waste time to try to become like something else. Just be yourself, what feels good for you, and bring that out. Because just like you said, it was good. His style was him.
yeah.
It felt like him. But if I would be doing it, it would be, yeah,
Weird.
yeah, yeah, weird.
Yeah, but also I think we go back to the first thing I wrote that it was something unexpected, you know.
Mm, yeah,
So it was not the usual way of when you listen to presenters or speakers. It was something unexpected that it got me.
mm,
But if everyone would be doing that, then it would be normal.
mm, yeah.
Mm,
Can you see that red line with
yeah.
all of the that was a little bit in Swedish we call it ledande fråga. That is not a good coaching question when it's a yes or no. Um, but yeah, I- could you see? Do you feel that it's a red line between all of them, or a red thread? I think you can say that in English, can't you? In Swedish, we say röd tråd. We will teach
Yeah.
the listeners here a lot of Swedish.
Yeah, of
That
course. I can see like that there is how do you say the anticipation building, the
mm,
excitement building, and something how do you say original, not something usual to start with, and yeah, giving this you know you can lay back. I got this. Um, attitude, So
yeah,
I'm the expert, but still showing vulnerability, of course.
yeah,
But this giving security and building up excitement and being original, that I would say yes is common in all of these. If I haven't missed any that you maybe can fill in.
no, you're
Yeah,
an expert.
being personal also, right?
You're an expert already.
I have a good mentor.
Thank you. So that was unexpected, wasn't it? Uh, well, so let's see, 228.
All right, so I'm ready.
You ready? We don't manage to sync, but we blame our computers.
Yeah, let's.
or phones. One is slower than the other. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, at TED, we talk a lot about leadership and how to make a movement. So let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course, you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed.
Yeah, I've seen that part somewhere this week, actually.
Mhm.
What do you?
Well, to be honest, I got distracted of the video, you know.
Mm,
Like, what's going on there? But
yeah,
but maybe that was the point. Like, you know, wake me up. Like, this was the I was trying to concentrate on the video. What's going on there? What's that about? But still, it
mm,
was in context with what he was talking about.
mm. And we
It,
had an echo.
yeah.
So it's even more challenging.
Yeah.
But it is a very important point that you're mentioning there, because it's too many things. It could also be like too many things to focus on what he's speaking about, and looking at this man, maybe there could be a more powerful way of doing it. Or maybe if it would be that he would not be speaking during video. I don't know. But it could be that it's also too much information. I don't know. But
Mhm.
it could be that it's a distraction as well
Yeah,
of the video.
I felt like it was a distraction and I got confused, like
Mm,
confusion. But then it was like two different things and then they came together.
yeah,
Ah, okay, that's what he means.
yeah,
That kind of that.
yeah.
So, yeah, but uh, it would not be my preferable way to start a presentation, I would say.
No, no, no. But it is also like you said, yeah, it is a confusion in the beginning. Like you can see that this is a man who's probably on a festival dancing. What does that have to do with leadership? And then
Mm-hmm.
you see the point that, yeah, to be a good
Mm-hmm.
leader, you have to be different. You have to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So the point would be like confuse your audience, but just for a short short moment, and then take them out of that confusion, right?
Yeah.
How would you do that, like in our um in like in your work, if you're talking to dentists?
Hmm. Let's have that as a homework for next session. Yeah, but how can we confuse in a good way?
Mm,
I think now when you ask me, now when you were the coach, I realize that I'm not used that. I'm not used confusion.
no.
It's a very brilliant thing, but it's not the most common. It's not what you do. You try not to confuse. You try to
Yeah.
be very clear. Yeah.
Mm,
But it's good, it's powerful to confuse, but just like you said, for a short time, and then they will understand. If it's confusion, is if it's too confusion, or how do you say,
yeah.
for a longer time, then you can lose interest. So it has to be powerful, short, to then come to the
Actually,
conclusion.
I got an idea
Yeah.
for one of my presentations. It's about how to start with orthodontics. Get started with orthodontics. The presentation, the course name is.
Mm,
But we are not talking about orthodontics at all during the course. And it could be like you today you're here to learn more about orthodontics. but we will be mostly talking about marketing. So you could actually use this confusion in the beginning, like today you're expecting that we are going to talk about orthodontics, how to do the treatments, but I know that you all know this already, so we will not talk about that. Let's talk about mindset in business and marketing.
Mm.
Or no,
Yeah,
as you say,
yeah, yeah,
it's a bit hard to do this because I'm not
yeah.
used to it.
No, I know. I understand. I'm not used to it. It's a completely different thinking because now, and that your thought, write it down and work on it because now
Mm,
you were leading them all the way. The best thing is to confuse them, not lead them. Like,
mm,
boom, say something that they're like, what? Ah, so because in this way we are going to talk about, you think I'm going to talk about, then you're leading them how they are going to
exactly.
think. But the best thing is say something that will confuse them. Like
Mm,
the first one, when he said one sentence.
mm.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said when he said the failure to success. And that's funny
Yeah,
with our memory. We remember like we don't remember the whole sentence. We remember a feeling that the only thing I can remember of his sentence is something like you have to fail to get success.
yeah. And the leaders are those who gets ridiculed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so take a note and work on that, how you
Mm,
could confuse them to then make them feel wow.
yeah.
Without, and the thing is that without explaining too much,
Mm,
without leading them too much. And it's especially difficult, I think, for us as dentists because we're explaining everything in detail and
yeah.
we have everything very clear. Like our goal is never to confuse. So it's a challenge for us, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, let's see.
Mm,
Apollo Robbins, 248.
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Do you think it's possible to control someone's attention? Even more than that, what about predicting human behavior?
Interesting.
Mm.
I'm thinking about something now here. Like this is a really good intro, like starting point. But how do these guys get presented? Like, do they talk about themselves or somebody else is like presenting them and they enter and they start the presentation with this sentence?
On a TED Talk, if they have somebody has presented them before,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know actually. I don't
yeah.
know.
Because that's a very good how do you say favor? You know, you get presented and then you enter the stage and then you start with the sentence. You don't need to like
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm this guy. I work with this."
Yeah, but that is a limited. It's good you brought this up
Yeah.
because one coach actually that I have had, she told me that one of the best presentations she have had
Mm.
is a woman who were speaking about a subject, and by the end, she was telling about herself.
Ah,
So it's a little bit limited belief that, hi, my name is Baba, I have worked with this. And
yeah.
that is also like, oh, the audience are like feeling a similar feeling, like this is the normal procedure. So when you change it and you
Mm.
speak about a subject and they're like, but who is he? I have to know more about this person.
Yeah.
And then so it's good to wait. Actually, it's always the most recommendable thing is to wait. First, get
Mhm.
their attention and later on tell about who you are.
Yeah.
So, and at my last speech or in Stockholm, I told the presenter, don't tell them about me,
No.
because I started the subject and then into 5 minutes of the presentation, I spoke about myself.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so it's a
That
little bit, we think that we have to do that way,
Mhm.
but it's not actually the best way always.
No, I actually feel that it's kind of every time I also had a presentation where I start with like introducing myself,
Mm,
I feel that it starts to, it's just like giving information. I would like to start with like connecting to the audience, and
mm,
talking about the topic. And it feels more natural than like, why am I here
mm,
in context to this topic and you.
mm,
So yeah, I get the point, but it just hit me when I was listening to this, like, okay, they start with this powerful sentence or intro,
mm,
but what is going on when we are out in our daily life listening to speakers? It always starts with, "Hi, I'm this guy. I have this degree and this experience. Today I'm going to talk about this."
mm.
And it's just like it's not the powerful start,
No,
right?
exactly. So we are interested in the subject that this person, especially again, we dentists, we are interested, we want to learn more things. But when the
Mm,
person starts like that, we go into like, oh, I hope he's good. I hope she's good. I hope I hope I will learn a lot. But you
mm,
don't see that you will be maybe super excited. You just see it as a learning process. But if they can do it excited as well,
mm.
that is mind blowing. So
Yeah.
so we had how did he start? He started with, do you remember how he started his presentation?
No, I don't remember right now. We have
It
watched
was,
like
yeah, I know. So it's 9:30 in the morning. It's not a memory game here, but he started with a question. So
yeah.
it could be a question. It could be, if you feel that you want to start with speaking about yourself, then it could be when I was 3 years old. And
Mm,
if you have like a powerful, and the thing is that sometimes we don't take ourselves so seriously. We're like, oh, that was not so special moment. But maybe something when I was 3, or okay, we don't remember, maybe when I was 5, I remember I was playing with a pen, and I just felt like I wanted to make a difference, or that was not so powerful. But what I mean, that it could be
mm,
that a small thing that happened, you could build that up to a story
yeah.
and make it much bigger. Not inventing, but sometimes we don't take ourselves so in such a strong, how do you say? No, it just pops up in Swedish. Vi tar inte
Mm,
oss så mycket på allvar eller gör en stor sak av det. We are not doing a big thing of it, but we could
mm,
actually do one moment when you realize this is what I want to do.
yeah.
And you build that story, and you see how you felt, and you see what did I see, did I feel, what did I
Mm,
do in
mm,
all
mm,
these moments.
yeah.
So now we have been speaking for an hour. It has
Yeah.
been so much fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we only got through 3 minutes of this video, and I have got written
Only
20 points. How many got you?
no, I am a total. This is how I do when I write. I just boop 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 boop. So I don't know how many
Yeah.
different, but there are a lot. Uh, so what I think, if you want, you can feel what you want. If you want to go through the next part, our next session,
Mm,
to get even more, because this is also a process. It's not that you will sit down now and be jotting down your whole presentation. It takes time. This
yeah.
creativity takes time. You will get the best idea when you're taking a walk or when you're training, or so just
Mm.
relax and it will come to you.
Yeah.
So you can think, if you want to already start a little bit with your presentation, probably for next time you will have a lot of ideas that we could brainstorm about, and we could also continue and look at more, because I think that sparks a lot of creativity.
Yeah, that sounds as a good plan.
Great. So what is your greatest takeaway from today?
From today, I would say that it's about being different, surprise the audience, be personal, authentic, and show vulnerability. Also build up excitement and giving the security to the audience that I got this.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's what I would say the summary would be of these 3 minutes of of TED Talks we saw.
Perfect. You get 10 of 10.
I get a diploma at the
You
end.
get a diploma. You get a diploma. So we see each other at our next session, and let's see if we record that as well.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.